So I want to welcome you to the Mindfulness broadcast. Today we are going to focus on self-compassion. This is a topic that I love to revisit. It is such a powerful practice. There's this amazing neuroscience and emerging research that continues to come out about it. It will also be the focus of October's Mindful Masterclass. So I'm going to put that in the link. It is in the chat. It is October 18th. If you are not getting our newsletters or are not already on the list where you get the invite for that, you can go right up to that link and sign up for that, and then you will be added to the link that will get sent out. It's October 18th from 8 to 8:30. There's no cost. You just come. It's built into a lot of the trainings that we do so that folks have access to it. And our focus is going to be self-compassion. And what we're going to do in there, we're going to run it a little bit differently than we normally do, which is that we're going to use the whole 30 minutes to go through an evidence-based self-compassion practice. It's amazing for our own practice, and it's also a beautiful gift that we can lead others through or link them to do their own work as well. So with that, I want to go ahead and get started. So self-compassion, I look to the work of Dr. Kristin Neff. She's got several amazing books and workbooks. She also has a really wonderful website. I'll share all that in the masterclass. The website that she has a lot of free activities and guided mindfulness practices. But what I love about this research, of course, is that it's based in neuroscience, which for me is my love language. You've heard me talk about. And what they found when they looked at self-compassion through the lens of neuroscience is that how we talk to ourselves when we mess up, when we have not met our goal, our expectations, whatever, our own social, society, cultural, whatever it is. What we tend to do is have a voice back here that we may not even be aware of, that is telling us things to help, quote unquote, motivate us. And what we know when we look at this through the lens of neuroscience is that that messaging is generally negative. It's usually shame-based. It's usually scarcity-based. And it actually activates the shame regions of our brain, which feels very unsafe for our brain. And so it feels safer to our brain to disengage from making it right, from coming back to being resilient and coming back and moving towards our goals. Rather, it says the safer thing is to stop, is to give up, is to quit. Because our brain doesn't want to be in our shame regions. And so this kind of unconscious wiring that many of us have when we are in a place of vulnerability and we fail, which we will, but we've got some expectation that we won't. And so when we do, we then either consciously or unconsciously chew at ourselves, attack ourselves back here at varying degrees of harm. Self-compassion is the practice of rebuilding those brain pathways to create different messaging so that we activate the caregiving, more resilient parts of our brain. And for most of us, it has to be a practice because our go-to is negativity, is self-criticism. So we're going to use our practice today to come to kind of a part of self-compassion. There's really three parts of self-compassion practice, which is mindfulness, common humanity, and then self-kindness. So we're going to use our practice this morning to tap into that self-kindness, which is really to kind of rewrite our own scripts so that we have something to replace those self-critical messages with. And if that speaks to you and you like this kind of work, do plan on joining us on October 18th. So when you're ready, you can close your eyes. You can also take a soft gaze. Find your breath this morning in your body and just feel it as it lifts your shoulders. Feel it as it moves down into your belly, expanding your belly, softening that region and allowing it just to fill. And then slowly letting that go, feeling your shoulders drop, your belly release, your chest drop. Repeat that several times, just signaling to your body and to your mind, we're doing something important here. We're doing something purposeful here. We're coming into this moment, whatever it has to offer. Coming into our body and into our brain and into our mind, in whatever state it may be. Just greeting ourselves. Sometimes I feel like it's a moment where I see myself in the mirror. I don't do that a lot. These moments of mindfulness where I come back into my being. Before we move away from this moment and into self-kindness, just say hello to yourself and give yourself some gratitude for showing up to this practice. I want you to bring to mind the last time you, quote unquote, messed up. You said something you wish you hadn't, or you didn't say something that you wish you had. You did something or didn't do something. And right away, notice what happens as you bring this thing to mind. What happens to your body, to your mind? For me, right away, I felt a shift. I felt like, ugh, I had just greeted myself. And now I really don't want to look at that. I didn't like how that went. I didn't like how I was. Just notice. And what I want you to do, this is a little bit of a stretch of a visualization. So meet this practice wherever you can. I want you to imagine somebody that you love. They may be walking on this earth and they may not be. Somebody with which it's just easy to bring them to mind. They might be four-legged or two-legged or anywhere in between. And I want you to imagine that they, quote unquote, messed up. Imagine them sitting in front of you and you're about to respond to them, letting you know that they messed up. What would you say? What would you do? How do you feel about them? Up into that. More than likely, we're saying things like, it's okay. We all do this. Maybe we reach in and hug them. Put our hand on a back. Maybe we share sometime that we did something that we wish we hadn't done, making a connection. Maybe we coach and say, how would you like to approach this next time? How do you want to be in relationship to this failure? Maybe we lean in and say, love, when did you decide to believe that you had to be perfect? Who taught you that? What if you let that go? And now take all of that love and that common humanity and that empathy that you so easily gave to this person that you love. And imagine giving that to yourself. Observe this process in yourself. What emotions arise? What belief systems bubble up? This is just a laboratory, an experiment area. So you don't have to decide whether or not you can do this. Just play with it right now. For many of us, there's an underlying belief that if I give myself this love and this self-compassion, I'm being soft. That real change has to come with these self-criticizing messages. But neuroscience lets us know that's actually not true. Sometimes the hardest work and the most powerful work we can do is the work of self-compassion. Find your breath in your body. Again, allowing that belly to soften, the chest to rise, and the breath to move fully through. As we begin to close the practice, see if there's one of those messages that you so freely gave that person you love that you want to choose and put in your pocket to use with yourself today, a script that you can go to, making it more easily accessible to you. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Again, if this spoke to you, join us on October 18th from 8 to 8:30 for the masterclass. Be well, everyone. Take care.